left your teeth, but you can always choose not to release it. Control the flow, or the flow will control you. We live in the loudest era in human history. Not just physical noise, but the relentless screaming of the global forum. Your pocket contains a device designed to shatter your silence every few minutes. It demands your attention, your outrage, your opinion, and your time. To a Stoic, this is a form of slavery. If you cannot go an hour without checking the thoughts of strangers, you are not a free man. You are a leaf blown by the wind of public opinion. Marcus Aurelius warned us not to waste what remains of our lives in speculating about our neighbors, unless for some big reason of the common good. He was talking about the gossip of Rome, but he might as well have been talking about your social media feed. Silence in the 21st century is a radical act of self-defense. It means turning off the notifications. It means refusing to weigh in on the controversy of the day. It means being comfortable with being uninformed about things that do not move the needle of your virtue. Does it matter to your character what a celebrity said? Does it change your destiny what the masses are shouting about today? No. True power is the ability to walk through a crowded, screaming marketplace and remain entirely alone in your mind. This is what the Stoics called apatheia. Not a lack of feeling, but a freedom from being overwhelmed by external things. You must cultivate a digital silence. Stop reacting to the bait. The algorithm is designed to trigger your ego. It wants you to be angry. It wants you to be defensive. It wants you to talk. When you refuse, you break the cycle. You reclaim your focus, the most valuable resource you possess. By choosing what not to listen to, you are choosing who you want to become. Create zones of silence in your day. No music, no podcasts, no screens. Just the weight of the air and the clarity of your own thoughts. It will feel uncomfortable at first. You will feel an itch to reach for your phone. That itch is the feeling of your addiction breaking. Stay in that discomfort. Let the silence wash away the digital filth. You are cleaning the windows of your soul so that you can finally see the horizon. The world is a battlefield of egos, and every word you speak is a crack in your shield. When you explain your plans, you dilute your resolve. When you complain about your hardships, you advertise your vulnerability. The Stoic understands that true strength is self-contained. It is a sealed vessel, pressurized and potent. Epictetus once said, "Let silence be your general rule." Think of silence as a physical barrier, a wall of cold marble between your inner peace and the chaotic intentions of others. When you are silent, you are invulnerable to the most common weapon of the masses, manipulation. A person cannot manipulate a void. They cannot pull strings that aren't there. By withholding your words, you withhold the handles by which people attempt to lead you. Think of the great leaders of history who moved empires with a glance. They did not win by outshouting their opponents. They won by outlasting them in the quiet. This is the discipline of the iron mask. Even when your heart is racing, even when anger is boiling in your blood, your face and your tongue must remain as still as a tomb. This disconnect between your internal storm and your external stillness is what makes you a master of any situation. Practice being the quiet observer in your own life. When you feel the desperate urge to justify yourself to someone who has misunderstood you, don't. Let their misunderstanding be their problem, not yours. Your truth does not need their consensus to exist. By remaining silent, you prove that you are the master of your own reality. You don't need to borrow certainty from the lips of others. Your thought is vital. Leave a short but powerful comment under this video. Let it be your seal on today's lesson. Marcus Aurelius often practiced what modern Stoics call the view from above. He would imagine himself rising high above the earth, looking down at the swarming cities, the marching armies, and the silent graveyards. From that height, the noise of humanity disappears. The bickering, the insults, the fame, and the scandals, they are all swallowed by the silence of the stars. Silence is the language of the cosmos. The planets move in silence. The sun burns in silence. Time itself passes without a sound. When we embrace silence, we align ourselves with the fundamental nature of the universe. We stop being small men obsessed with small things and start becoming part of the eternal order. In the grand theater of time, your greatest problems are but whispers in a hurricane. This realization shouldn't make you feel insignificant. It should make you feel free. If the noise of the world doesn't matter in 100 years, why should it matter today? Why waste your limited breath arguing over things that are destined to be dust? The monumental silence is the ability to look at your own life through the lens of eternity. When you do this, your priorities shift. You stop seeking the applause of the crowd, which is nothing but the clapping of tongues, as Marcus called it. You start seeking the approval of your own conscience. You begin to value the unspoken virtues, endurance, justice, and self-control, more than the spoken vices of fame and status. This is the ultimate perspective. When you carry the silence of the stars within you, nothing on this earth can truly disturb you. You are like a deep ocean. While the surface may be whipped into a frenzy by the wind, the depths remain cold, dark, and perfectly still. This is where your true self resides, in the depths, where the noise of the world cannot reach. The ultimate test of a Stoic is not what he says, but what he is. In the end, words are just shadows of reality. You can talk about virtue for a lifetime, but virtue only exists in the moment of choice, in the heat of the struggle, and in the coldness of the quiet. Marcus Aurelius gave us the most powerful command in all of philosophy. Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one. Notice the silence in that command. It does not ask for a manifesto. It does not ask for a speech. It asks for a transformation that occurs in the marrow of your bones, far below the reach of language. Real power is silent because it is self-evident. A lion does not need to roar to prove he is a predator. His presence is enough. When you live with total integrity, when you fulfill your duties without complaint, and when you face your fears without seeking sympathy, you are speaking a language that the world cannot ignore. Your life becomes a monument that stands in silent defiance of the chaos around it. This is the eloquent silence of the wise. It is the ability to act with such precision and such calm that no explanation is required. If you are building a business, do it in silence. If you are training your body, do it in silence. If you are healing a broken soul, do it in silence. Let your results be the noise. Let your success be the thunder that follows the lightning of your quiet work. When you stop talking about your intentions, you create a pressure cooker of will. The energy that would have been wasted in telling is instead channeled into doing. You become a force of nature, relentless, unstoppable, and quiet. Remember, the most dangerous man in the world is the one who has nothing to prove and everything to achieve. He has mastered the art of being invisible until the moment he becomes inevitable. The journey into the abyss of silence is over, but your work has just begun. We have explored the strategic void. We have learned how to use the 3-second rule to reclaim our sovereignty. We have seen how to turn the silent treatment into a shield of armor, and how to find the view from above where the noise of the world fades into the eternal hush of the stars. But do not let these be just more words to fill your head. Philosophy is not a hobby. It is a way of dying to your old, weak self so that a stronger man can be born. The world will try to pull you back into the screaming crowd the moment you turn off this video. It will tempt you with a notification, a petty argument, or a hollow compliment. In that moment, remember the stone. Be the marble. Let the world's noise wash over you like rain on a statue. It may wet the surface, but it cannot penetrate the core. You have the inner citadel. You have the static strike. You have the power to simply not react. Carry this silence with you like a hidden blade. Use it to cut through the lies of the ego and the distractions of the digital age. When you speak, speak with the weight of a mountain. When you act, act with the inevitability of the tide. But for the most part, listen, observe, stand in the stillness, and watch the world reveal its secrets to you. The loudest thing about you should be your character. The most powerful thing about you should be your restraint. Go now and find your strength in the shadows. Become the quiet master of your fate. For in the kingdom of the blind, the one who sees is king. But in the kingdom of the loud, the one who is silent is God. Welcome to the silence of the marble mind.